Alexander the Great is no more, and now his successor kingdoms fight for his empire. Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish, and welcome back once again to another Total War Rome 2 battle. Today we are diving right back in with an epic 3 vs 3 online battle, and I want to give the guys who went ahead and sent this in to me a massive shout out. I really appreciate all the battles you guys have been sending in to me, and if you guys want to go ahead and play in these battles, I'll leave their Discord down below in the description. They have a really awesome community, and I recommend joining if you enjoy Rome 2, but they are obviously looking to expand their games as well to play more like Attila and other stuff like that. So do join their Discord. They're a really awesome group of people, and I appreciate all the replays they send in to me. That's absolutely awesome. As well as that, I want to go ahead and give a massive thank you to everyone who has just been watching these videos. The Rome 2 videos do so goddamn well, and I really appreciate it. It's like an 8-year-old game, and the watch time on these videos is absolutely insane. It's like up to 40%, which is just crazy. That's like amazing on YouTube. 40% watch time. That's honestly the best way you guys can support me. If you want to go above and beyond and you can't support me on Patreon or by becoming a YouTube member, just watch the entire video the whole way through, and it makes such a big difference to the channel. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. The watch time is crazy, and I really appreciate it. So as we said at the beginning of this video, this is kind of like a successor kingdom battle. Bactria versus the Seleucids, the fight for supremacy of the East, and it's going to shape up to be a very interesting engagement because, as you can see, this is an amazing settlement. Look at it. I don't think I've ever really seen a settlement like this before, and it looks absolutely amazing, like with the steps going up to the city center. Like, it looks awesome. It kind of looks like a custom settlement almost, especially as the attackers come in as well. You're just going to have archers firing down upon them on the Bactrians. Obviously, the defenders have set up a very nice defense right here as well, the spikes and stuff like that. So the Seleucids are attacking, and I believe the funds for this game was around about 16,000 per player. So they're going to have, the ability to bring a lot of good units, but also they're going to have to bring some not so good units just to kind of fill out their roster, which is, I like that. I like having a mix of units. Obviously, the larger the battle, the better, but I like the idea of having some not so amazing units kind of filter out instead of just these alliance blocks of like amazing, 4-axe swordsmen who just go in and kill everything. It's kind of cool to see kind of Hillmen and Eastern Spearmen and just kind of using the entire roster to what it is used for. Obviously, though, we are going to be seeing the 4-axe swordsmen and a whole ton of other units which are going to be very useful in these battles. So you can see, if we take a look, you can see a little Bactrian cavalry rushing to the woodland to try and hide, but I think the Seleucids have seen that. But as you can see, if we take a look at the overall battle, the Seleucids are going for a pretty heavy assault on this part of the wall, basically unifying their entire army right here with the kind of wall battering rams, which kind of sound pretty crazy, right? Wall battering rams. But yeah, they're going to be bringing these up to destroy this wall and obviously make their way forward. They also have a lot of siege towers down this side of the settlement as well. It seems like they kind of got a little bit bored here. I think what they were doing is they were just moving these scorpions up so they could fire over walls. I think that's what their plan was. But they'll probably be looking to go ahead and take this wall in a second as well. Then they also have an artillery piece right here, along with some more assaulting forces right there. And they also have some stuff hidden in the corner, some cavalry and a unit of infantry as well. A unit of 4-axe swordsmen who can push the siege tower up. Obviously, the siege tower isn't hidden, but these units are. So maybe they're going to try and kind of like take these gates and then rush some cavalry in, which I think is a very actually smart idea. To try and do that towards the end of the battle is have some cavalry hidden off, have a siege tower, try and take a gate that they're not going to be defending, and then rush your cavalry into the city, because that could be really important. The Bactrians, though, are obviously not going to be giving up their forces, their walls easily, but they're giving up the walls, but not going to be giving up the streets very easily. They've got a lot of infantry here, a lot of 4-axe swordsmen, and a lot of other units that are ready to push in. I imagine we're going to be getting some javelins thrown down from the walls. And this is one of the disadvantages, obviously, from giving up the walls in these battles, is you leave yourself very vulnerable to javelin fire and also missile fire coming in. But a nice thing that the defenders can do to kind of counteract that is to obviously just hammer the units on the walls themselves. Because generally, archers, unless they're like Rhodian slingers, don't really have access to any missiles for themselves, any shields for themselves to protect themselves from any missile fire coming in. So you can, if you are the defenders, just basically hammer the enemy with missiles as they get their archers on the wall. It's a very, very effective tactic, especially if you have like a skirmisher unit, like a Velite or a Peltis unit. You can do some insane damage. It actually gets pretty crazy how quickly you can withdraw that unit. And right now, the defenders of the attackers, sorry, it's early in the morning, okay, give me a break. The attackers are playing a little bit patient. I think they're waiting for everyone to get into position, and they're going to attack all in one big go, which again, definitely got to respect that. They actually made a pretty good breach down here. It looks like the Bactrians aren't really defending this side of the settlement. They're kind of giving it up, which I think is fine. There's no ways into the settlement. Yeah, there's only this barracks area, which they have to break through, which is going to be pretty simple for them. So the defenders seizing kind of that part of the city to give up. And I love the Thorax for Bactria as well. Bactria are such a cool looking unit because not only do they have that heavy Hellenic influence, they kind of definitely have a lot more Eastern than any of the other successor kingdoms. And they have these scales, Thorax hoplites right there. They have kind of more of the Eastern armor, but with the Greek kind of military training and fighting style, which is, yeah, just awesome, awesome. And it's kind of crazy as well about how many Hellenic factions there are, but a lot of them do feel pretty unique. And the Javelins are going to be coming in. They are going to be finding the shield wall of the scaled Thorax hoplites. Luckily, they're taking down a few of these guys and whittling down that HP shield that we always talk about. It's not too bad. Unfortunately, though, they have kind of given up this tower now as well as they move this unit across. They probably should have left it there just to neutralize this tower, because it's going to kill it. It's going to kill a handful of infantry, which could really make the difference. And now, after the kind of the initial phase, we are starting to get the entire Seleucid force, which I think is probably like 2 players over on this side, really moving in. But we do have a unit of cavalry. Let's jump on board with this one. But it seems like the players are very, very quick to react. I think I almost immediately saw the Seleucid cavalry moving off there into the distance. So yeah, you can see it just coming into view right now. So really nice move there. The Seleucids are paying attention, because too often these like kind of sally forth, these sneak attacks do very much kind of take people off guard. So it's great to see that they are not going to be taking anyone off guard this time. And there you go, the cavalry is going to come in. But all the Bactrians are going to try and retreat. However, this cavalry is faster. And it is light cavalry after all. And it's going to be able to hit this Bactrian Royal Cavalry in the back. I mean, to be fair, the Bactrian Royal Cavalry is going to be more than capable of dealing with this. I think it seems like they're maybe trying to lay a little bit of a trap here, ambushing with more cavalry, as these guys do come flying out as well. And I think they're going to kind of abandon that fight and go after the new unit of cavalry coming in, or at least warn off this unit of cavalry coming in. But the Seleucid medium cavalry, once again, a creative name by Creative Assembly. It's obviously where they got their name from. Goes clashing in against the Bactrian horse. And this kind of looks like Armenian horse right here that the Seleucids have at their disposal. But they are obviously outnumbered. And you know, I mean, obviously the Bactrians are going to win this one. They outnumber the Seleucid cavalry, 2-1 here. And unless they can reinforce this, which it doesn't really look like they're planning to, but yeah, they're going to find themselves with a little bit of a disadvantage. But luckily, they can just push themselves in. Yeah, the Bactrians have a lot of cavalry out here, and they've managed to clear that one out, and now they can push on. I think a large amount of the enemy cavalry is... I say that, wow, yeah, look at that. They are really switching up their attack right now. This is pretty interesting as the Bactrian cavalry continues to come in just to try and cause some harassment. But yeah, we're seeing a huge kind of change in the attack. They've kind of seen that they can get a lot of soldiers into this area of the battlefield. So yeah, they're moving in. I wonder as well if they can get siege towers. Let me just speed up the camera back again. I wonder if they can get any siege towers. They probably can, right? Get siege towers up this part of the wall. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's why multi-sieges are so goddamn cool. Unfortunately, though, this Bactrian cavalry did get caught. But the ability to like destroy the walls, and that's probably why they left the siege towers here, right? To bring them into the city and then assault the inner layer. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Hopefully we'll see some crazy stuff. But we do actually have some infantry fighting. I haven't really been paying attention to too much. But these hillmen are charging forward along with the Persian light spearmen. They're obviously going to be no match, though, for the Thorax whatsoever. These guys are going to cut them down. Probably going to take a handful of them down. But as you can see, the bodies are starting to pile up in the breach. And man, one day I really hope we get that in Total War, like an actual like mass counter to the bodies as soldiers do fall. Like, I want to see, like, people, like, kind of climbing over them. Not like, you know, Battle of, you know, Game of Thrones style. I was about to say a bad word and probably get this video flagged. But, you know, like, kind of like Game of Thrones style. Not that extreme, but, like, at least a little bit, you know. So you can properly do for 300 Spartans of Thermopylae, make yourself a wall of bodies. That'd be cool, man. That'd be very cool. Seems like, though, this assault has not gone well whatsoever, though. I mean, it was obviously to be expected. This was more of a, you know, kind of a diversion more than anything else. And the players have decided to quickly get over here and really push in their forces. Gonna probably just, you know, wait until everyone is ready to go and then move in. It does seem like, yeah, the siege tower is moving up as well. So probably going to go ahead and take this tower and then, you know, wait to move in some cavalry, maybe take out some of these artillery pieces, and then just kind of push in the city when the other assaults are going to be popping off right now. But yeah, very kind of like a slow start by the attackers. It's never a bad sign, you know, never a bad thing to kind of take your time in these battles or whatsoever. You know, they're just kind of advancing in their forces, and it's because the Bactrians aren't putting up a good assault here or a good defense here. But I think this kind of just leads out to be a very, very fun battle, because what we're going to have is, hopefully they'll bring up the siege towers if they can. I'm pretty sure you can, but maybe you can't. Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun to see them, like, siege tower this and then also fight over this barracks. It's going to be kind of a pretty deadly fight, but obviously before they can do that, they have to clear out this position. And Bactria aren't committing a ton of men to this area. They've just kind of got some hillmen, and they're going to set my favorite weapon of mass destruction ablaze. And sometimes these things can be amazing and sometimes they can be awful, and today they are awful. Actually, I take that back. They're always awful. It's very, very, it's very, very, you know, kind of few and far behind when they do actually do well. About 99% of the time, these burning bulls suck, but that 1% is worth the other 99%. It really is. It's such a shame as well. Creative Assembly could have done so much more with these deployables. It's really unfortunate, but, you know, is what it is. And I assume the Greeks are going to come flying through pretty quickly again. They are taking a lot of missile fire now, and this is obviously awesome. I love this kind of multi-layered dynamic to this siege map and to this battle. Like, having archers firing from the inner wall as the battle begins below them. It's just such a cool idea. And, like, you know, as good as Rome 2 sieges are, they needed a lot more of this, you know. Like, Medieval 3 had, like, 3 layers half the time. Oh, and someone's auto-commanding the artillery piece. That's always gross to see, because you can shoot it, like, about 1 million shots per second. I think it's, like, every 5 seconds here. Look at that. They're just absolutely... It's like an MG42 nest. Just bombarding and doing so much damage. Generally, people prevent... Like, they say that you can't do that, because it's just so broken. Because you can just fire, like, you know, so many shots. And I think they're infinite ammunition as well. So I think generally people do disallow that in battles, but apparently not in this one. I'm wondering if this unit is going to try and storm these bulls before they do get set ablaze and thrown down. As the Hillmen do have another opportunity to obviously set these ablaze and probably do some serious damage. There is also some traps here, so a few, you know, soldiers are going to be getting taken out. Yeah, there's a couple men, and these aren't cheap men to replace. It seems like if there is a sprint for burning bulls, though, these guys are going to get there first, and the Hillmen are just going to be a little bit delayed there, yeah. They're trying to get in there now, but it's just going to be a bit too slow. I think they're going to form shield wall, and now the infantry lines are going to clash once again. Fighting away against the Hillmen. And there are more reinforcements, but obviously they can't really do too much against you, kind of to hold down this area. It's always going to be overrun, just because they have some pretty crappy units, and their thing is still shooting as well. Man, I'm surprised none of the players have prevented that from happening, because it's pretty ridiculous. There is even some men over here as well, just getting shot to pieces now. Not really anything too crazy, but the majority of the forces have been brought inside the city. Got some archers as well, and the attackers are doing a pretty good job at just conserving their ammunition. Not really doing too much. The cavalry is also running into the city now as well, so we have a unit of light horse going to be roaming around the city. I think this is maybe a little bit too quick, but obviously it's going to be able to take away this capture point, which is going to give them the ability to get a little bit of a morale bonus and take away that morale bonus from the defenders. So there's like a double swing right there. As the fighting continues, this seems like this is really the only place that the fighting is really kicking off right now. But they have plenty more infantry they can bring up, and we can just speed up a little bit as you know, more units decide to come in. I think they really want to try and secure this area before diving in properly. And obviously they can utilize and go around this side of the wall. However, the archers are going to be in a pretty good position to punish that. Obviously, you have Bowman here, so if anything tries to come up, because you actually have to go down, basically through this goat path right here, up here, because I don't think you can pass through this bit of terrain and get up here to kind of flank or at least clear this out. I don't think you can as well. You can't get into the inner layer at all from the walls, so they'd have to actually bring up siege towers, which I really hope they do, because I think that looks so goddamn cool. They might not, though. We'll have to see how that does plan out. And they'll bring up more infantry now. I think the assault here on this kind of barracks area of the city will be kicking off any seconds now. They are also throwing away some hillmen. If we just get back onto normal speed, maybe on double speed. They're throwing in some hillmen again. This is just more of a diversion, trying to tire out some of these Thorax. And they have got some kills, you know. They've managed to bring this unit down by 13 men, which is pretty decent, you know. That's 13 less that your elite units have to deal with. So, honestly, not too bad whatsoever. And yeah, you can see a big emphasis of the infantry coming in right now. And I think this is where the battle will be decided, as a lot of the men have come in. This sector has been completely cleared out. They are getting hammered, though, by the missile fire. Yeah, there are a lot of mercenary Syrian archers up here, just pinking away at the armor. And you can see a lot of hits there on that, in that corner right there. You see a lot of dead bodies. As the elite Syrian archers prove their worth. And they definitely need to try and get these siege towers up ASAP. This unit of infantry, though, obviously looking to take care of this tower, just so that they get rid of that kind of constant missile fire coming in. The infantry is edging closer now. Still no commitment to the fight, though. I think they're just trying to like absorb all the ammunition on one unit so that the other ones can come up. And this one has taken an absolute hammering, down to 92 men. It's pretty brutal indeed. Almost half their unit taken down. Luckily, though, these spikes have actually absorbed a decent amount of ammunition, though. There's a handful of javelins in there, which probably would have been a kill shot, so not too bad there whatsoever. Yeah, more infantry just filtering into the city. Again, we can just hit that triple speed until a little bit more action does occur. I wonder if you can... I doubt you can bring in these tortoises into the city, right, just destroy the inner wall. Be insane if you could. It'd be really cool if you could. But I doubt that is going to be the, I doubt you can bring these into the city. We also have an artillery piece as well, so they can also just bombard this wall as well if they wanted to. And there we go, the infantry getting ever closer, and they're going to be trying to throw their javelins. Yeah, they're throwing their javelins, and again, just trying to whittle down these defenders. They also have a lot of missiles as well that they can use, like... They've got archers they can bring up here. I think the archers have been brought around. I'm not sure if they are in range. Yeah, just they are in range as well. So they're going to start hammering away at these back units. I think trying to focus down all the missiles, the Persian light archers, which obviously are going to be able to do a lot of damage, but they're going to be much more vulnerable to this arrow fire. This guy's taken an arrow to the bicep, but he doesn't care. Oh, okay, now he does. He took an arrow to the head, and that's an F in the chat for that poor Persian archer. And yeah, we're trying to return fire, but these Syrian archers are just going to be doing so much more damage on both sides. And there's a lot more missile fire coming in. So, yeah, a very kind of standoffish battle so far. Neither side really looking to commit more than they have to this engagement. There's an artillery coming in as well. Just one flaming bull. Yeah, and I think they're going to try and break down this wall. Because maybe you can't bring in siege towers into the settlement. I'm pretty sure you can, but maybe they have like a rule against that, because I know it can be kind of abused. So maybe they're just going to try and use their artillery to do that, which is cool with me. As long as they assault this wall, whether it is with siege towers or artillery, I'm happy. And I think in Vanilla Rome 2, you can make like 2 or 3 breaches with an artillery piece, so that's all cool with me. You can actually have some pretty good stuff. Like in Divided Tempero, it takes a lot more for its own reasons. And yeah, the archers are just clearing out this section. The Bactrians are going to be a little hard-pressed, right? They're going to give ground. They're using a lot of their missiles. And look at that, the infantry is just running forward. Oh, it's going to look awesome when the walls go down through the olive trees. And there you go. There's been a breach, and these Thorax spearmen are going to be the first ones through once more onto the breach. Fill that breach with your English dead. Let's go. And I mean, the Bactrians, do they not have anything back here? I mean, the battle goes on for 18 minutes, so they can't be a capture. But I think the Bactrians just weren't expecting this. No, that can't be the case. Oh no, thank God. Okay, for a second I was like, no, Bactria must have been expecting this, right? And thank God they were. But maybe not as quickly. Maybe that did take them off guard, as they do have a player back here to defend this. But, you know, they weren't here immediately, so maybe this did take them a little bit off guard. And that's going to allow the guys to come up. And, yeah, they're throwing in their cavalry. And this is a risky maneuver, right? I mean, it's deadly, but you could lose your general in a random kill. And as the infantry does get up, it's going to be pretty painful. But this is a maneuver which just needs to buy time. Like, you're going to lose some Bactrian Royal Cavalry, which is extremely expensive. I mean, I say that, they haven't really lost, I haven't lost a single horse. They lost one horse so far, a couple now. They definitely did a lot of damage as well to his unit of 4x swords. So that's actually really good by the Bactrians. But generally when you see stuff like that, it's more of a, I need to buy myself time for my infantry to get into position. I do it in Divided Tempera all the time. I just throw my cavalry in as a chance to just, as quickly as physically possible, give me some time to form up. And right now, that's going to obviously be the Bactrians, as they are getting overrun by the Seleucids. And I imagine, whilst that is going on, the Seleucids are putting a lot of pressure on them in the front line as they do fight with the hoplites from Bactria over there. But this is obviously where all the action is going on, and right now the Seleucids are just rushing in. They've got about 4 units of Syrian heavy archers slaughtering these pikemen. They've just got their numbers overrunning the pikemen from Bactria, and because Bactria are in such kind of a rush to form up and not get enveloped, they're finding themselves in a pretty precarious position. There's another unit of hoplites. These are Bactrian Royal Guards, so these aren't, you know, weak units whatsoever. These are extremely heavily armored, high melee defense, high melee attack infantry. They will be fighting hard against the 4-axe swordsmen. But there's a lot of numbers here. There really is. And I think we saw some units start to fall back. So we might see more reinforcements. I think it's these 2 units right here of scaled 4-axe hoplites, which are making their way back in. Yeah, and a lot more reinforcements have just been rushing back to the city centre. So, you know, regardless of whether this is a successful assault or not, they've done a lot of damage. And they're also opening up more breaches, which this assault down here can quickly fill through. And man, that was a slow start to this battle. Let's be honest. That was a slow start to this battle. But holy crap, has that sped up, and all of a sudden we are 100% going over the speed limit right here, and we are diving to glory and honor. There'll be many amazing warriors finding themselves in Hades' underworld, that is for sure. You see Greek v Greek here for the honor of Alexander. We also have a unit of javelins here. Hopefully they fire in onto the hoplites. They might not. Even if they don't fire in, they should just charge them into the side as well. They'll be able to wrap up this unit. I think though they're mainly trying to focus on this big blob, killing pikemen and spearmen alike. And I think for the most part, these guys have done a great job. What they definitely should do over here as well is they can definitely sandwich in this unit of Bactrian Royal Guard as well. Charge it from the back with these 4-axe swordsmen. Come in either with this unit of swordsmen or the cavalry, and you can definitely take out a unit there. However, there are plenty more reinforcements. Bactria is doing such a good job of trying to quickly reform the line and deal with this. You know, they have the numbers to do so. So that's exactly what they're doing. However, the Seleucids are diving everything they've got in here. But my god, there's a lot of missile fire coming in as well. Look at that, the Syrian archers there and the Persian archers. There's archers just coming in from every single angle. Now, what an awesome battle this turned out to be. And I think that's like heavily down to the way the map is designed, right? When you have amazing maps like this, that's just what it facilitates. And it's so great. Obviously, the players are doing an amazing job, but you know, having this wall allowed them to use it and do crazy stuff like this. And this is awesome when stuff like this does happen, because it makes it such a fun and interesting battle. It really, really does. And it goes to show just how important good maps are. Right now, though, this unit of 4-axe pikemen not only are getting attacked in the side, they're also being shot in the back. Luckily, though, they do realise are only after losing about 20 to 30 men from that initial fight. We are bringing in more men, but yeah, it's just such a scrappy battle right now back here. This unit of Bactrian Royal Guard have been enveloped. However, they are Royal Guard after all, and they will fight their way out of this or die trying. And I think it's going to be the latter, unfortunately. But a very, very brave stand indeed for them to keep on repelling the enemy advances inch by inch. How are we doing down in this barracks area? still very kind of standoffish. If I was the Seleucids, I'd be trying to punish this pretty heavily because they have a lot of men down here, but you want them to keep men down here. You don't want them to move men back into the city. So I'd keep on putting pressure on here if I could. But also, it's not a bad idea as well. It's just to kind of stand off and be very, very passive down here, because by doing this, they're still keeping a lot of soldiers down here, but you're not losing any casualties. Eventually, they're going to have to weaken their defense here to defend the city center, and because of that, then you can push in a lot more effectively. So there's definitely, you know, a good argument for both of them strategies right there. I mean, to be fair though, it seems like the Bactrians are doing a good job, and this unit, oh wow, this unit of Bactrian Royal Guard have fought their way out now, down to 61 men, but reinforcements have arrived, and we do have some scaled 4-axe hoplites hitting in the Seleucid infantry from the back and the front now. The Bactrian Royal Guard did their job. They held until reinforcements arrived, and now under the temple, they will make their stand. I mean, oh baby, look at that, it's awesome. More infantry moving, screaming. I think they're retreating now. That missile volley doing the damage, and yeah, these guys are going to retreat with 16 men left. I think that was an admirable show. We also have some awesome attacking going on right here as well. I love the tempo in the background as well. It looks so goddamn cool. You go super cinematic right there as well. A true fight indeed. So these are some of the Royal Peltists who have an insane melee attack, even though they are Peltists. They're definitely one of the strongest units in the Hellenic arsenal. Especially after they've racked up all their kills. Lots of missile fire coming in here. But there's just a lot of numbers. Like, this is the thing. They actually need to be very careful, because quite quickly they can find themselves completely overrun and unable to really withstand the constant assault they're going to have coming at them. And there are so many missiles there. Just hammering away. So if we can just go back to normal camera, yeah, you can see a lot. I think a lot more reinforcements are being brought around, and they are really diving in. However, their archers, I think, unless they're out of ammunition, are in a pretty poor position. Maybe these guys are trying to like funnel their way through, or maybe they're just out of ammunition, and I guess this is fine. They're going to just kind of be clobbering their way in, try and breach this. I mean, the Syrian archers can do some damage in melee. Nothing crazy, but they can definitely help out. The arrow fight is going to be racking up casualties, and I mean, I guess if they want them to shoot anything, it's the out of ammunition Syrian archers, so it's not all bad. We're also engaging pretty heavily against the Bactrians here, and actually doing a pretty good job of breaking them. However, the Bactrians are committing a lot of men to this assault, which could definitely come back to hurt them. You see a pile of bodies. It's really racking up, and they still have plenty of reserves though. They have a handful of infantry, but obviously their general units as well. I always love to see a shield bearer general unit now and again. And they also obviously have their pikemen as well, which players always bring in towards the end, just because there's no missiles left to really hit them. Almost a unit of cavalry somehow managed to make its way through. How the hell did this happen? They've got a unit of cavalry and a unit of 4-axe swordsmen here. Oh, right here. This is how. And they're going to be going right after these archers. Oh, no. This is catastrophic. 2 units of archers here who have ammunition are going to be getting charged in by the Seleucids. That was brutal. Really, really dangerous stuff. These archers are going to be turning their focus on and immediately shooting on them, but it might be too late right there. And now these towers are being taken as well. Yeah, the gaps are just appearing, and I think the Bactrians just have too many men down here. It needs to be a full-on retreat, as they are very, very vulnerable right now to losing this city center. Even with reinforcements, even with them winning in certain areas, there are gaps appearing, and that is catastrophic right now. The cavalry is having a field day cutting down these Syrian archers. Even after taking some missile fire from up there, it's just not enough. The cavalry will be getting 100 or so kills just from that, taking this tower as well. So if the defenders want to retreat back men, I mean, honestly as well, what they could do is they could, you know, get on this wall, start clearing out these archers, or just defend this choke point and stop anything from coming in, because I think it is only a matter of time until this position is just completely overrun by the Seleucids. And I mean, they literally don't even have to defend this right now. We do actually have some cavalry though coming around. It seems like the cavalry routed, probably got beaten back, and yeah, it's now just getting killed. So these guys must have just fallen apart from the initial assault, and then just kind of got killed by missiles when they came back from routing. I think that would make the most sense. But yeah, now the Bactrians are realizing that all hope is lost with this barracks area, and they just need to go back, because if they don't, the battle is over, and it might just be over. They might just be a little bit too slow to get back here in time, as we are seeing the Seleucids just completely running around every single position. Gearing up for another awesome charge here with Silver Shield, Swordsman, throwing my javelins into the back. Luckily, a few of these pillars do protect them, but yeah, they're going to be going right into the back of these guys. And I might actually just pause it right there, just for a juicy screenshot. Just for a juicy screenshot, why not? Something like that would be pretty dope. Perfect, that's exactly what we want. We've got to get these screenshots now and again. We're going to go flying into that rear unit, and yeah, I think it's going to probably end up breaking a lot of the Bactrians. And I think the Seleucids, I mean, the balance of power is still very even, but I think they're going to be able to take the city center and just hold it for the allotted time. And it's going to be very hard fought to come back, because they've obviously got units right here as well, and they're doing exactly what I suggested, is that they're trying to hold these choke points. I mean, luckily the Bactrians are not over with this yet, though, and rear charging this unit of 4-axe swordsmen, which is going to see them probably breaking pretty quickly as the casualties do rack up. And that's going to allow them to get their reserves back inside of the city centre, but the Seleucids are just throwing more and more men to stop them from happening. There's also a bit of a pike-on-pike action here as well. Which again always looks cool, but they're trying to commit this unit of pikemen over here just basically to block off this area, which is a pretty smart idea. You've got 2 units of pikemen, they'll be able to cover this area very effectively and basically make the Bactrians not able to take that. And there's still some units down here, which I think is just, you know, folly at this point. I mean, they're fighting out, so maybe what the Bactrians can do is they can break their way out from this barracks area and try and come into the rear of the Seleucids who are attacking that city centre. That's definitely a possibility and something that might happen. We need to kind of speed up that approach, because, you know, the last reserves are being committed now to this fight from both sides, and this is where the battle is going to be determined. And oh, you just try and sneak something through here right away. You need to be quick, because yeah, the window has stopped. And now these pikemen have basically completely covered this area. Unless you have a lot of javelins, all hope is lost. This is a iron wall of Seleucid pikes, and ain't nobody in their right mind is getting through that. That is impenetrable. Especially because these are silver shield pikemen as well. These aren't just, you know, bronze shields or, you know, just normal pikemen. These are the elite of the elite, right? Alexander's veterans. And you can see what they're doing already to the 4-axe pikemen. You know, they've lost 13, the 4-axe pikemen have lost over half their unit. Shows the quality of these veteran warriors. And they're just clearing out the last couple resistances, and I think this battle is going to go down to a city cap, which again, I don't mind. You know, sometimes city caps can be lame, but this one has been earned. This one has been earned through blood and glory. You know, taking kind of this rear assault. Bactria was just kind of too slow to retreat back to try and defend it. And it was just an amazing battle. This was a really, really cool battle. But we still have 4 minutes left of, I think, the Bactrians smashing their head against a brick wall, trying to breach this. As they still have some javelins left though, so maybe they can. This is obviously the best way to deal with them, and they are going to be killing and, you know, taking down. And as the pike sarissas do start to fall, you're going to start finding gaps. The iron wall is going to be a lot less effective, because instead of 3 spikes, you're going to have, you know, 2 spikes or 1 spike, and that's going to be pretty effective. So maybe these javelins can breach through, but I think the Seleucids still have plenty more reinforcements to commit here. They are clearing out the last couple units of hoplites here as well. The barracks has kind of fallen back a little bit, but the Seleucids just don't really care right now. they're focused on taking the city centre and calling it a day. Going home, conquering Bactria, making them their vassal, and then just calling it a day. And this city centre is going to be falling now under the awesome statue. I mean, oh baby, look at that battle, man. Oh my god. A dense battle line. Awesome stuff. Really, really is. Just so goddamn cool. As both sides reinforce with more men. I do really apologise for that as well. It's so annoying that it does. And you can't change it in the Rome 2 key bindings. I guess I could change my Steam key bindings, but it's kind of annoying to do that just for Rome 2. But again, I do play a lot of Rome 2 nowadays, so maybe it is worth it. But at this point in the battle, it doesn't really matter. And you are seeing victory close at hand. As the pikemen hold it under the towers. Under the glory of the Seleucids. The charge is coming in. This is basically all they've got left now. And that's going to be GG. We can already triple speed it through this last. There ain't no way they're getting through this position. So yeah, once again, massive, massive shout out to the guys who sent in this battle. It was really, really fun. I've got plenty more as well. They keep on trying to just, overrun me with replays, and I absolutely love it. Keep the replays coming, guys. If you guys have any replays or you want to be a part of these battles, as I said, join my Discord. I'll make sure to link it in the description. Also, join my Discord. There's a bunch of guys there trying to host some more battles as well. They always need new people. Just jump, if you're playing on my Discord, jump in and just go ahead and ask for looking for battles tag, and then you'll get notified when people host battles. And I'm sure they have a similar system over on this battles Discord as well. Very, very cool stuff indeed. So we're just going to skip ahead as the Seleucids hold that battle line. I think that, as I said, they'll win by city capture, but it's definitely earned this time. And there's still just some men. I think at this point, Bactrians have just given up. They're like, whatever. The battle is over. The victory is lost. And yeah, very hard fought. And I'm super happy. Like, it was kind of I was a little bit sad that there was no siege towers being brought inside the city. But still, as long as there was breaches and this wall was assaulted, I am completely content with how this battle went, because it was awesome. Really, really cool stuff. And if we take a look at the kills as well, you can see plenty of kills as well. Hannibal just going in with 2,100 kills. What was it, his archers? Yeah, his archers just wreaked havoc on the battle line. You guys can see a bit of everything else as well if you want to kind of check out. Oh, wow, not bad. Silver Shield Pikemen getting a lot of kills. And then the Bactria as well, their Bactrian Royal Guard. And, oh, wow, this unit of Thorax Swordsmen as well, almost 300 kills. Not bad whatsoever. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. As I said, if you want to go ahead and support the channel, just watch these battles the entire way through. It really helps out the channel without skipping, as it boosts that watch time, which is the most important metric. As well as that, if you guys want to go ahead and become a YouTube member or a Patreon, you can find the links down below in the description. Huge help to the channel, and you can subscribe for just as little as $2 every single month, and you get some awesome benefits. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and fish out.